All right, so this person, their title is The Crazy Eye and Bad Aura. Just got back from a date, nothing major to report other than I felt, in all caps, in my soul, a bad vibe from that person. When you feel that, get the fuck out. Charming, handsome, lots of mutual interest, yet, all caps, I felt like running away as far as I could. That's weird. I think it might come from the fact that he was intensely staring at me. Yeah, if you're staring at a girl and you're not doing like a smile, it's going to come across as really weird. And so it's like, yes, she's going to do things like give you like eye tests. And it is important to really maintain that eye contact, especially at the very beginning. And so it's like when you first encounter a person, it's like if you, especially approaching a woman that you might be interested in, you make that eye contact and you do not look away. So it's like you do not look away first because it's usually, well, a sign of less confidence if you look away, but also it has to do with a dynamic between kind of, not like to the extreme, but a dominant and submissive kind of roles. And usually the one that's in their masculine is more dominant and the one in their feminine is more submissive. There's not one that's better than the other. It's just usually how those polarities interact with each other. So know that. And so it's like, but don't overuse it. So it's like you really just have to basically do that too for the purpose of establishing that dynamic from the very start. So you look directly in her eyes and you do not look away first. She looks away first. But then you just have like a regular eye contact. It's not about just having this locked eye kind of deal and then always doing that and thinking you have to do that every single time you make eye contact. No, that's not the case. It's like you do that maybe once at the very, very beginning, or in a situation where you feel like she's testing you and then she makes eye contact to test your confidence and see if you'll look away. So those are kind of the situations that you'll see the eye contact thing. But if you overuse it, especially if if you do it with like a serious look in your eyes, it's just like weird. And so I don't know if this guy was trying to, maybe he knew about the eye test, which is probably one of the most common tests women do. Um, uh, but maybe he knew about something like that. Oh, maybe you saw in some sale saying that you should be the one who makes eye contact and never look away. Because people in sales actually do teach that, and it does have to do with that kind of leadership role. It's like the one who looks away first is a submissive one, and the salesperson wants to be in that leadership role so they can lead you to buying a car or buying a house or buying whatever they're trying to sell. So maybe he found that, but he doesn't really understand it. Maybe just saw it once and doesn't know that you should have like a happy, inviting, look on your face, not like a total serious one that'll just freak her out. So intensely staring at me, which made me uncomfortable and seemed to be overly confident. Interesting that her interpretation of that was overly confident. And why I'm saying interesting is because it's like women will test you to test your confidence, but it's almost like, I don't know if she worded this in a way that it's really congruent with how she was feeling, like she wanted to run away. But it was like, because she's doing this seemingly eye test, it's almost like she's just kind of labeling it as too much. Because normally she judges a guy's confidence if he can basically maintain that eye contact, but he did way too much. And now it just seems like she's labeling that as overconfident when it might be the case where he's just being like way too serious and using it really out of context. Which in the past has always turned into narcissism. Okay, and so now she has some kind of past reference, and now she's basically she's saying, oh, I know exactly what this means based on just this thing that he did or this feeling that I have. That's more like it. It's like with her, it's like she's going to interpret things basically on how she feels. And so it's like, this makes me feel like this other time in the past. And what you'll also see in a lot of confusion with guys, in just a communication dynamic, women have a lot of communication dynamic issues with men as well because they talk more directly, and sometimes they think that, I got a Zoom call coming up, and they think that basically there's more to it, but they're being straightforward. But let's see, where was I? Anyway, overconfident, which in the past has always turned into narcissism. So yeah, what she'll do, what I was referring to earlier, was what she do is she bring up like things in the past to communicate how she's feeling in a present moment, or how you're making her feel in a present moment. So just be aware of that concept. But this might be projection, maybe. Regardless, if you have that gut feeling, don't progress. It's like, what's really the benefit? Yeah, no. My question is there such a thing as a crazy eye? Sure, but it's probably just like guys making eye contact and being like really serious, has this really serious expression, you know. But that could be just a really lack of knowledge on his standpoint, or thinking he has to apply this technique in order to be liked, and he's misusing the technique. Or he could be kind of weird too. I wouldn't, play that out just because. If you're getting that gut feeling, don't progress further. Can you dismiss something because of his bad aura? Totally. 100% you can. It's like, well, do you really want to be around people that you feel like almost scared around? Or that just, it's like, no, you don't. You want to be with people that you feel totally comfortable with and safe, and feel like they're like supporting you and on your side, not like bringing you down. But with that, I've got to go to a Zoom call, and I will see you soon. You can get basically the products I've made in the description below. Fundamentals is free. Same link basically takes you to Fundamentals first. Free download, just put your email in, and then takes you over to ClickFunnels, which you can buy for $30.